Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Headphone user Evshrug here with a new, not quite new, but almost new product from FiiO. Came in the mail today from DHL. This is Thursday. FiiO sent it out just Tuesday, so I will say that was really fast shipping. Came with a nice foam packaging, so it was safe. And then here is the package. It may be a pre-production package, but probably the same as what we'll see when this amp comes available come late February, March, April. They're going to be releasing in batches, so you might have a hard time getting a hold of one at first, but generally you'll be able to get one by March and April. This is the FiiO Mont Blanc E12 amp. Now this is a very powerful portable amp with probably enough power for any dynamic headphone to drive it to adequate volume, also providing a bit of an extra quality boost because this is a high quality product with discrete elements that will do much better than a built-in cell phone amp or portable DAP amp like an iPod. So the amp is better in this than in this, and also much louder for a harder to drive headphone. Also, new thing that I've noticed from FiiO, I don't know when they started this, but there's a cool scratch query. And underneath there is a code or a serial thing, but it's a code that you go to FiiO.com, enter it, and it gives you a check on the authenticity if FiiO actually built it or not, if you have a fake or a real product. That's a clever idea. Authenticity is nice, but this is definitely real because it came straight from the factory and is not quite ready to be released to the public. They're producing enough to give to people. I managed to get lucky on Headphone. Here's the amp itself. This is actually the case of the amp, but the amp's inside. It's embossed with the FiiO logo, or stamped with it. And the top here is open instead of a usual squeeze type of bag, so that you can access the different ports. And has a different enclosure than usual. I feel like it's very, very Eastern and Oriental because it's just a bead on a string with a loop on the other side. The loop goes around the bead. Pull it up to release it. I think that's cool. It's different. The FiiO amp itself is right here. This is the Mont Blanc. Very tall Swiss Alp mountain is what it's named after, but it's got a very nice brushed aluminum finish, possibly anodized for the black color, but it's quite fingerprint resistant. It's not a magnet. I can't really see any, although if I try really hard, maybe I could see my finger oil just because I'm pretty oily sometimes. But as you can see, it's a nice product. Anyone ever see 2001 Space Odyssey? It's like, it's going to teach us the world about how to become the next evolution. Woohoo. Alright, so here is starting off with the amp. This is your volume control, also how you turn it on. As you can see, they charged it a little bit from the factory. I just took this out of packaging, and this is take 2, but it came charged. The actual volume potentiometer, volume knob, is very stiff, so you can make very fine adjustments and it won't get turned in your pocket, so you won't suddenly blast yourself. It has a nice chrome ring, keeping flash, a nice texture on this. There's textures all around this amp to make it give it that extra premium feel. There's even chrome rings around the headphone out port and the source in port. So this end goes to your iPod or phone or something like that. This end goes to your headphones. And here is the power side. It actually has the exact same kind. I'm really happy about this USB just because it happens to be the exact same as my LG phone. Also, I have a Recon 3D sound processor for my Xbox. It makes it have virtual surround sound for games, and that uses the same cord. Also, so does my Wacom digitizer tablets for writing on a computer. It's great to have products with the same type of USB connector. I don't remember what kind this is called, but there it is. If you recognize it, then you're golden. There's also a bass boost switch. I'm glad I didn't say bass, but there we go. It has just one position, off or on. But again, a very nice button. And the bass boost is subtle. It's supposed to be mostly in the sub-bass range, so you get that atmospheric feeling. And it's also something that usually challenges most headphones. So getting an extra boost in that range can improve your immersion quite a bit. Rounded edges, beveled edges. Very, very attractive, nice device. As we switch around to the other side. So the two last features, there's a crossfeed switch and a gain switch of 0 and an extra 10 decibels. They're both the kind of type that you would need like a pen to switch. That's not the easiest to switch, which is, annoying if you want to change it a lot, but you probably won't have to change it a lot, and it prevents it from getting switched up in your pocket. The crossfeed it takes stereo audio and then mixes the left and right channels together a little bit. You could choose to leave it off or on, but some people feel that with it on, it creates a more natural sound, because when you listen to real life, you're going to hear in your right ear a little bit what you hear from your left at a slight delay, but just makes it more smooth and somewhat more natural for some people. You can turn it on or off. I will tell you about how it works later, but here is basically the FiiO amp. Other things that come in the package. Oh, I just also want to point out the inside of the case. This is a very thick case, and the inside is very soft, so if you make any fingerprints, it's going to get rubbed off by the case. Can you read Mandarin? Or I think this is Mandarin, I don't know, but can you... Here is the English version, and you could probably read all the stats yourself. You're probably zooming on some interesting things. To those who don't know some things to look for, one of the things that make this amp most unique is, for a portable amp, the power ratings here are very high. By comparison, the FiiO E17, which was their previous portable flagship, which is also a DAC, not just an amp. This is just an amp. A DAC, digital audio converter, will replace basically like a sound card for your computer. This is just an amp, but it has about, like 3 or 4 times the power. At 32 ohms, which is your most common headphone for portable use, it's 880 milliwatts. That's a lot of power. At 300 ohms, it's still 160 milliwatts. I don't know what what a kilohertz frequency that is, but suffice to say, this is an extremely powerful amp and will probably drive almost any dynamic headphone adequately. Almost any headphone, in fact, except for like the Stax orthodynamics that are requiring basically speaker amps. But this will, if you ever wondered what more power will get your headphone, also a better built amp, this is definitely better than anything built into an iPod. Speaking of, here's an iPod for scale. This is an 80 gigabyte version of a video iPod, so it's a little bit thicker than your average classic, but it's good size comparison. When you match it up, it is just slightly, the new Mont Blanc is slightly larger, but it's still pocketable, so it doesn't really in the end make a difference. Matches up nicely. It's going to fit in your pocket. Whatever. You're going to be great. It'll be a good happy days. And it will again tell you the future of your race. Sorry, I'm geeking out. But this is an exciting new amp from FiiO, the Mont Blanc E12. Look for my review on headphone.org. My name will be Evshrug on there. Thank you. Please comment if you'd like to see more videos like this, or if you'd like to just have a conversation. Thank you. Have a nice day.